Once upon a time, in a sunny little town where wildflowers bloomed along every path, there lived a curious boy named Sammy and his best friend, a fluffy white dog named Witty. Sammy had big, bright eyes that sparkled when he smiled, and Witty's tail was always wagging with happiness whenever his favorite boy was near. Sammy and Witty did almost everything together. They played ball in the garden, read stories under a big shady tree, and sometimes just lay on the grass, watching clouds drift across the sky. When it rained, they built blanket forts and made up their own adventures. There was no one Sammy trusted more than Witty, and no one Witty loved more than Sammy. One Saturday morning, Sammy woke up to the gentle sound of raindrops trickling down his window. But just as he yawned and stretched, the sun peeked through the clouds, turning the world bright and golden. Sammy jumped out of bed and called for Witty. Instantly, Witty's ears perked up and he bounded into the room, ready for anything. "Witty, today's the perfect day for a woodland picnic," Sammy said excitedly. Witty barked, his whole body wiggling with joy. Sammy quickly packed a basket with peanut butter sandwiches, apple slices, and a few crunchy dog treats. He filled his water bottle, grabbed his green cap, and tucked his favorite red notebook and colored pencils under his arm. Witty grabbed his chewed-up blue ball and wagged his tail, ready to go. The pair set off down the leafy path at the edge of town, following bird songs and the scent of damp earth. The woods were alive with activity after the rain. Drops clung to the leaves, and the sun made everything glisten. As they wandered, Sammy and Witty came across a patch of wildflowers. Butterflies danced over the petals, and a sleepy bee buzzed lazily by. Sammy knelt down to draw the brightest flowers in his notebook, while Witty sniffed the cool, fresh air. Soon, they heard soft voices chattering nearby. Sammy tiptoed closer, Witty by his side. In a small clearing, a family of hedgehogs were trying to build a tiny twig house, but the walls kept tumbling down. "Oh dear, this just won't stay up," sighed one of the baby hedgehogs. Sammy smiled and gently stepped into the clearing. "Would you like some help?" he asked kindly. The hedgehogs nodded, and together, Sammy and Witty helped collect strong twigs, small flat stones, and big leaves for the roof. Witty steadied the twigs with his nose while Sammy placed the stones carefully. Soon, the little house stood strong and cozy, ready for the hedgehog family to snuggle inside. "Thank you," said the littlest hedgehog, beaming. Sammy smiled. "Helping friends makes adventures even better, right, Witty?" Witty barked in agreement, his tail swishing back and forth. Back on the path, Sammy and Witty soon heard the rush of water. Following the sound, they found a cheerful brook bubbling over smooth rocks. Sammy dipped his toes in the cool water, and Witty splashed and played, chasing after floating leaves and small twigs. Suddenly, a voice called from across the brook. It was Millie the squirrel, looking worried. "Help! My basket of acorns fell in and it's floating away." Without a second thought, Sammy grabbed a long branch and carefully guided the basket toward the bank. Witty helped too, paddling gently, and soon Millie's acorns were safe and sound. "Thank you, Sammy." "Thank you, Witty," Millie said, her tiny voice full of relief. After all their good deeds, Sammy and Witty were ready for their picnic. They found a sunny spot under an old oak tree, spread out their blanket, and shared sandwiches, apple slices, and crunchy treats. Witty sprawled out with his head on Sammy's lap, and Sammy sketched the bustling woods in his notebook. Just as they finished eating, the wind carried a beautiful fluttering sound, the delicate wings of a family of butterflies. Sammy and Witty watched as the butterflies floated all around, their wings glittering in the sun. Sammy giggled and held out his hand. A tiny butterfly landed for just a moment before dancing away. A little while later, a gray cloud drifted overhead, and a cool breeze whispered through the branches. Sammy packed up their picnic, and the pair followed a winding trail deeper into the woods. Along the path, they heard gentle music. Following the sound, they discovered Luna the rabbit, plucking strings on her tiny harp made from twigs and grass. She invited Sammy and Witty to join her afternoon music time. Sammy clapped along to Luna's soft, twinkling song, Witty barked in rhythm, and soon, the clearing was filled with laughter and music. Even the birds joined in, chirping from the high branches. When Luna finished her song, Sammy drew a picture of the woodland band. Luna smiled and gave Sammy a sprig of lavender to remember the melody. Witty sniffed the lavender and sneezed, making everyone giggle. As the sun began to set, glowing gold and pink through the trees, Sammy and Witty headed home, tired but so very happy. On their way, they They paused to help an ant who was carrying a crumb much too big. Together, they nudged the crumb into the ant's tunnel, and the ant waved gratefully. By the time Sam and Witty left the woods, the sky was painted with stars and a soft breeze made the leaves murmur a gentle goodnight. Sammy looked over at his best friend and smiled. What a perfect adventure, Witty. I'm glad we spent it helping friends and making new ones. Witty licked Sammy's hand and wagged his tail, his heart full of happiness. That night, after a warm bath and cozy pajamas, Sammy climbed into bed with Witty nestled close. Sammy opened his red notebook, looking at the day's drawings, the twinkling flowers, the happy hedgehogs, the swirling butterflies, Luna's musical band, and the ant with its crumb. Every picture told a story of kindness, friendship, and the simple magic of helping others. As Sammy's eyes grew heavy, he whispered, "Good night, Witty. I can't wait for our next adventure." Witty snuggled even closer, his breathing soft and steady. The stars twinkled overhead, and in their dreams, Sammy and Witty roamed magical lands filled with friendly creatures, gentle songs, and endless wonders to share. They knew that together, every day could bring a new adventure and a chance to help someone in need, a gift more precious than any treasure. Good night, little dreamers. May your dreams be filled with simple joys, gentle adventures, and the magic of friendship, just like Sammy and Witty's. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to Fuzzy Fable Factory for more gentle bedtime adventures. Sweet dreams, and see you next time.